Hi guys, Marina is here with Venture Toward Wholeness Fibromyalgia community, and I'm here today to give you a little bit more update on what's going on in my world and how I am moving closer toward wholeness. From my previous videos, you probably already know my journey with fibromyalgia. I'd been diagnosed in 2009, and it's been quite a challenging journey. And I've also, from my previous videos, you've seen all the things that I have tried and what I'm doing now. So back in September, I was introduced to a different supplement by good friends of mine, Ross and Fiona. And at first I was a bit skeptical, and I just put it on the shelf, and I thought, well, I'll get to it at some point. I thought it's just another supplement. But there's something inside of me said, okay, you need to give it a try. You need to do a little bit more research, which I did. And I thought, well, I have nothing to lose. I'm going to try it for 3 months and see how I'm going. And what struck me about a month into taking the supplement, which I'm going to talk to you about more, for the first time in my life living with fibromyalgia, I woke up in the morning without the feeling of being hit by a truck. Now, since 2009, I didn't have a day without pain, literally 24/7. As you know, living with fibromyalgia, with low-grade chronic pain, what it does to your psychic. So basically, I would wake up, no matter how long I would sleep or how little I would sleep, I always wake up with enormous amount of pain, feeling like I've been hit by a truck or I had enormous flu all the time. And all of a sudden, a month into taking a supplement, I woke up in the morning and felt rested. And I was like, okay, I'm not going to get too excited about it. I'm going to give it a little bit more time, which I have. So we are in February now, the middle of February. And I see the results, and I'm going to talk to you about it more. And that's why I'm here sharing with you. And as you know, the goal and the vision of Venture Toward Wholeness is to share with our communities of things that work for us. And I'm bringing to you today good news that it is in fact working. And what I've done, I actually asked Ross, who introduced me to the supplement, if he would talk to me a little bit about how he started on the supplement and what a little bit more details about Max products, the vision of Max products, and what it does to your body, and the importance of taking the supplement. So, without further ado, I would love to introduce to you a good friend of mine who also introduced me to Max product and Celgivity and even ATP, where I tell you a little bit more. Hello, Ross.
Hi, Marina.
It's so good to be here in your back yard, Kinara Gardens, right? Enormous beauty. I don't know if you can say enormous beauty, but very beautiful place. Thank you for having me here.
No, it's a pleasure, and it's lovely to be able to share it with folks. And so it's been a journey for us as well.
Yeah.
For us, the journey became more of a focused one when our youngest daughter, who's now 14, was born Down syndrome, had a wall missing in her heart, and later on we discovered she was autistic. So we had the options to just manage her as she was, which we were told to do.
Yeah.
But we wanted to see if we could improve her situation.
Yeah.
And so we started doing research for things that might be helpful. And in the process, we discovered a technology that impacted and helped lift the stem cells numbers in her body, and it impacted on her health and her development in general.
Yeah.
And then later on, we found we also needed to do more than what we were doing to impact the autism.
Yeah.
and I'd been away from home for a few weeks and came back home, and I'd noticed this even stronger. So started researching some more and discovered that the doctor that had helped us, who was involved in the first technology, had also been working with a second technology.
Yeah.
And it was helping conditions such as autism, which were very, very low in this very important molecule. And so we started using these products,
Yeah.
For our daughter, and the teachers noticed as well, without us saying, even in the first week, that that there was a change. So we knew that it was actually making a difference.
Yeah.
And we've had to just adjust a few things to find out what's worked better, but consistently over these number of years now, it has certainly moderated that condition, and we've come to understand some of the other technical things that it does.
Yeah. Interesting. So you said within a week, even the teachers start noticing a difference. That is incredible.
Yes.
Why do you think that is? What is in longevity that makes such a noticeable difference?
Okay, well, the molecule that needed to be increased in her body was glutathione.
Yeah.
And it's kind of interesting that oxygen's pretty important for us, but you can go maybe 4.5 minutes without oxygen before death starts to set in.
Yeah.
But you can only go 3 seconds without glutathione operating in your body. So that's how important this molecule is. And when there's low levels of it, it can show up in a lot of different ways.
Yeah.
And in someone who's autistic, it means that toxin build-ups play a big part in brain behaviour, heavy metals and other things like that. So when the glutathione levels started to lift, that would be helping to moderate that. And she would get locked into certain behaviours and not be able to move out of them. And the teachers were seeing that she could pull away from some of those behaviours and not be locked in. So that was the thing that they noticed.
So her glutathione level were increasing, which were helping her to manage everything else that's happening in her body.
Yes, it's kind of interesting from what we've observed that people that are critically low seem to find a difference very quickly. People that may be moderately low, it might be a slow climb up. But obviously in her case, it was critically low, and well, desperately low, and it needed to be shifted up, and that was taking place. And it was what was noticed as the outcome. And so that was good news for us. They noticed that. Another interesting one was that Celine loved to be involved in school dramas and productions, but she'd get quite anxious when it came to a public thing or with a lot of people, and it was the anxiety levels were lifting. And when she was on the products, she was involved in a combined schools production, and she went right through the whole production with the other children. And when it was all finished, she was just so exhilarated. She was so happy. She just had a sense of achievement.
Yeah.
And in the car on the way home, it was about a 20-minute ride, she was just laughing all the time. She was just so thrilled. So it was just a relief to her. And as parents, of course, we were thrilled that it had made a difference as well.
Yeah.
So that was kind of our introduction. to it, and then we've discovered a few more things and the wider range of things that it can help. There's over 70 different conditions, health challenges that are low in glutathione, and it can start moving them forward.
Well, and also for those of you who don't know much about glutathione, it's something we are born with. We developed even while we're in the womb of our mother, and as you progress and as you grow, different factors like trauma, physical or emotional trauma, free radicals, exposure to heavy metals decreases the growth of glutathione. And glutathione is absolutely essential in our bodies. And as you take something that to help the production of glutathione, of course, then your immune system, your body has more energy to deal with whatever is happening in your body. And also, Rose, once you see something works for your loved ones or for yourself, of course, you become passionate about it and you want to spread the word. And you say, hey, this is what works for me. Perhaps you can give it a try. And the motto that I live by, I never give up. First of all, I had to become my own doctor, because as I was exposed to Western medication for my first 2 years of being on different types of medications and narcotics, I almost lost my life. And then I had to stop and realize, hey, I have to become my own doctor. And once I made this decision, I just started to exploring all the options to come closer to the wholeness and closer to the healing. And that's what led me to Max Products. And as I see a difference in my own life, I am passionate now about spreading the word. And again, our bodies are so uniquely designed, and wherever you are right now, it took time for you to get there. Whether it was exposure to the heavy metals, whether it's genetic, whether it's emotional and physical trauma, whether it's your diet, it took time for you to get to a stage where you are at. So sometimes it takes time to get to that point where you actually not always in pain. So also, Rose, it's made a big difference in Celine's lives. But you also mentioned that your mother-in-law, Fiona's mom, was also diagnosed with fibromyalgia and went through enormous amount of pain. Just would you like to share a little bit about that and what happened, what is going on now?
Yes, it was actually a polymyalgia rheumatica,
which is worse than fibromyalgia.
And so she was, in her 80s, and so she was put on steroids, and that was problematic too. And so we introduced her to the products, and specifically the Cellgevity, and so she got on those and started feeling better. And
because what I've heard, forgive me for interrupting, that she couldn't even drive in the car. She had to stop the car anytime they were driving somewhere. That she had to stop the car and walk, and then get in the car, drive a little bit again. So she was in lots of pain, wasn't she? It was quite a struggle.
That's right, yes. And she's been an active person, and loves to get out in the garden and do the lawns and things like that. So it was frustrating for her. And she's been able to come off those medications that she was on for that. And the medical people thought they must diagnose it. And but she's really happy, and just enjoying life. So she's in her late 80s now. So that we knew that was working for that condition, but also for someone who was older, and it would be a harder job to move those levels up.